this is Doxy Mom, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't done so already, I'd greatly appreciate if you hit that little red subscribe button down here. You can ring the bell for notifications, and if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. Well, Miss Valentine and Miss Indy and I, we're going to bring you the news in 15 minutes or less. We've got a lot to get to, so let's get started. Now, yesterday I had to bring you quite a bit of bad news, but today this report is full of good news until the very end, and we'll get there. But let's start off with some fantastic news, shall we? Now, yesterday the U.S. Appeals Court ordered Judge Emmett Sullivan to immediately dismiss the criminal charges against General Flynn. Thank you, Jesus. This is wonderful. The Blaze is reporting that the ruling was a significant victory for the Justice Department that dismissed the charges against General Flynn, yet Deep State Judge Sullivan refused to drop the charges. And I reported last week on the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia when Flynn's lawyer, that wonderful Sidney Powell, she spoke to the three-judge panel, and of course that old Judge Robert Wilkins and an Obama-appointed judge ruled against General Flynn. Of course he did. But the two other judges, they recognized the injustice that was taking place. And guys, there's still many deep state judges and prosecutors out there. This corruption must be cleaned up. And if we want all these criminals, politicians, the deep state players to go to prison, then we've got to clean up this corruption. Now, Mark Taylor, of course, he's prophesied about the military tribunals for prosecuting people like Comey, Clapper, Brennan, the Clintons, Obama, others, but we must make sure the military personnel aren't deep state. Guys, we can't even imagine how deep the swamp runs. Anyway, General Flynn is free. Now things are really going to get interesting. And I'll leave a link. Now, here's some more good news from Breitbart. They're reporting that the FBI arrested LA City Councilman Jose I've probably mispronounced that, Tuesday morning on a federal racketeering charge that alleges he was a criminal enterprise. He led a criminal enterprise and used his powerful position at City Hall to solicit and accept lucrative bribes to enrich himself and his close associates. Now, he's being charged with one count of conspiring to violate the RICO Act, and he and his associates violated a series of laws, including bribery, honest services fraud, extortion, and money laundering. Now, Jose allegedly accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars of money in bribes from multiple sources over many years. He used his power to approve or to stall large building projects. He worked through a web of other corrupt city officials, lobbyists, and developers to line his pockets and maintain his hold on Council District 14. Oh, and Jose's district includes Skid Row, all of those homeless people, and here he is, living large. Well, maybe he'll find Jesus in prison. I really pray that he does, but we all know you cannot serve two gods, both God and money. And I'll leave a link. Now, more great news, guys. NXIVM leader Keith Raniere, he has been found guilty of all charges in the sex cult case. Now, NPR is reporting that Keith Raniere, who was known as Vanguard, the leader of NXIVM that recruited, groomed, and even branded a group of female sex slaves, was convicted on all charges, including sex trafficking, forced labor conspiracy, human trafficking, and multiple counts of racketeering, including sexual exploitation of a child, which is horrible, guys. Now, Keith, he is facing up to life in prison. His sentencing is set for September 25th. Keith's crime spree ruined marriages, careers, fortunes, and lives. It has finally ended, and his victims will finally see justice. But Keith, who portrayed himself as a genius, was in fact a massive manipulator, a con man, a crime boss of a cult-like organization involving child pornography and extortion, compelled abortions, Awful, awful stuff. Now, others in Keith's circle who held leadership roles, they have also been charged, including actress Allison Mack, who often recruited women for Keith. Now, Allison was convicted in April of racketeering and racketeering conspiracy, and she will also be sentenced in September. Now, guys, Keith was found guilty 6 days ago on June the 19th. And have you heard anything about this in the mainstream media? Nothing but crickets, guys. Well, we shouldn't be surprised, and I'll leave a link. Now, Donald Trump Jr. tweeted this out. Breaking, Joe Biden caught red-handed setting up General Flynn. He suggested using the Logan Act. Comey said Flynn's calls with Kislyak appear legit. Biden and Obama tried subverting democracy, peaceful transition of power, to destroy him and compromise the Trump administration in tweet. Guys, they tried to take down a sitting president. This was a coup. They tapped his phones. They threw Russia at him. Then Ukraine tried to impeach him. Then they threw out this coronavirus. We all know that was man-made. And bottom line, this is treason. They will go to Gitmo for this because, remember, there are 175,786 federally sealed indictments, and Durham will bring the pain, so don't fall for the fake news media's false flags, and keep the faith because we will win this war. And I've got more great news, guys. Fox's Maria Bartiromo, she interviewed former acting Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director Tom Homan, and he said by the end of the year, we will have between 400 and 450 miles of border wall built. Isn't this wonderful? Now, Tom says walls work. Well, and they absolutely do. Now, this should have been done years ago, but the deep state, of course, they want open borders to run their drugs and their guns and their sex trafficking operations. And when that's shut down, and then their money supply gets dried up, and you know they're not happy about that. But next, Maria, she brings up the executive order that President Trump signed suspending some temporary workers' visas through the end of the year. And this includes the H-1B visas to prioritize American workers in the aftermath of the Rona. And a lot of the leaders in tech industry aren't happy. Oh, well. Now, Tom says that he's investigated H-1B fraud for 30 years because these companies want a pool of cheaper labor. Thousands of U.S. workers have been displaced because of H-1B. So, the president is doing the right thing with this executive order. And guys, I don't know about you, but I thank the good Lord above every single day for our president. And I'll leave a link. And 17 in post 4510 ask us to take the oath to be a part of the Q Army and serve our country. So guys, I've taken the oath, I've posted it on Twitter, and I encourage you to do the same because where we go one, we go all. Now, I want to read to you a Facebook post that Boxer Dad found because North Carolina's Roy Cooper, our lovely governor, he has pushed Phase 3 back to July 17th and is now forcing us to wear face masks. Well, guys, if I get fined or if I get arrested, maybe some of my wonderful subscribers can send a few dollars my way to help bail me out of jail and pay that fine because y'all know I don't get paid for making these videos. And you know I refuse to wear a mask. Anyway, this is what the post said. The second lockdown isn't happening. When you gave a pass to looters and rioters, you gave up your right to boss around citizens. No more masks. No more frantic warnings about viruses. No more stay at home or closed businesses. You have entered the new age of patriotic disobedience. Don't you just love that? Guys, this is war. We have to choose a side. I'm choosing God's side. And I'm going to leave you with Psalm 67, verses 3 through 5 that say, May the peoples praise you, God. May all the peoples praise you. May the nations be glad and sing for joy. For you rule the peoples with equity and guide the nations of the earth. May the peoples praise you, God. May all the peoples praise you. Well, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, this is Doxy Mom, and God bless you all.